went off of what if as to why she would have had an issue, because it wasn't because she just wanted to know. It was because we had two different issues with the platforms.
Yes, sir.
I didn't ask her that. I
didn't say
wanted
you
to
did.
ask her.
I never said you
ask
did.
her why would that bother her if
I
someone
never
asked
said
her
you
that?
did.
Why
I
would
went
it
off
bother
your
her?
statement as to why it would bother her, and that's why it would bother her. It would have bothered me too, but me personally, I would have said something different. I would have been like that nigga that said, what is it fucking your business for? But it wasn't about me, but I'm different. So that's why you
Kevin,
asked.
Did you ever see me without at least one of my children?
Well, I'm the one who told you to let the kids go be kids. You remember?
Exactly. You told me to let them go and do their own thing.
Right. Because I wanted them to enjoy themselves, and I wanted you to enjoy yourself as well.
Right.
But that's not here nor there. I'm just saying, though, I can understand why she would take some type of weight with the question if it was asked, but I can also understand why it would have been asked as well. All I'm saying is, when you deal with it, just deal with it. Own it. Ain't nothing to be afraid about. Ain't nobody gonna put their hands on you nowhere near you. Just, be honest. If you said it, you said it. Own it.
Well, speaking of hands, Amanda did
Speaking
get
of hands getting put on me,
the exit on the boat. I would like to get into that because at this point, the case is going to present itself, and we are not the jurors for it that will do the final. But the Amanda said when she came off the ship to leave, that she was approached by two ladies that told her that they would swing on her. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Concerning Tracy.
Yeah, it was when we got off the bus.
Okay, the Amanda, could you tell us about that incident as we listen, please? Now wait.
Can I tell what led up to that?
Yes,
on the
please
bus?
let us hear.
There was issues with the bus, the timing of the bus, everybody being able to get out to the bus to leave when the bus had to leave. I was on the phone with Glam, who was still inside because her debarkment was later than everyone else's. Me and my kids were the first off the bus. Carnival did bring me out in a wheelchair, and a porter transported all of our luggage. They put us in a bay where they said a bus would be pulling up to get us. So that's where my things were. That's where I got on the bus. And while waiting for Glam to come out to that bus, the bus was going to leave. I was on the phone with Glam. She had a question. I didn't have the answer to it. I walked up the bus aisle to Tracy's seat, which was in the front, up against the window. I was in the aisle. I said, Glam has a question, handed her my phone. She had me hold my phone up to her ear briefly, then she took my phone from me. She was speaking to Glam, then the bus driver, then Glam, then the bus driver. The bus driver said we were getting into the $100 mark of what was going to have to be paid because he was over his time there. I was going to pay that fee. So I said that would be cheaper than them having to get an Uber. I was then screamed at and told, we're not paying that. These people aren't going to pay $100. These people wouldn't even tip the driver that dropped us off.
Amanda, that was not the way it happened. Don't do that. That had nothing to do with Tracy, because you was back there with myself and Curtis. We said that.
No, Kevin, that was when I was at the front of the bus and Tracy had my phone in her hand.
I'm talking about the yelling, talking about situation, because again, that's a situation
that's what led up to.
Had to do with that man's job, and that's what we tried to explain to you and Maria, that because y'all was trying to make this decision without going through that gentleman who is in control of what he has going on, his fee, his fine, his bus, or whatever.
That's where you're wrong, because I was talking to the bus driver
You're not
Tracy
listening to
was
me.
on my phone talking
You're
to
not listening
Glam.
to me.
I was
What I'm
talking
telling
to the
you is
bus
it was
driver.
3 of y'all talking. You, Miss Maria, and let me say something to this speak my mind who don't know shit about nothing because she wasn't nowhere around. I know more than you think. But the whole entire conversation should not have been had anyway. You know why? Because that was between Glam and Duffy, how they was going to get there, which is what I said, how they was going to get back. We tried to wait. The man couldn't wait. He wasn't going to pay a fine, and we weren't paying the fine. So that was his choice, his decision, not
Right.
ours.
But that has nothing to do with this case. What I'm presenting is the case that led up to what happened when we got off the bus. So if I could proceed with what happened to me.
Off the bus. You was talking about on the bus.
Right. And what led up to that was when Tracy had my phone in her hand talking to Glam, then screamed at me about no one would pay that fee, nobody even tipped, get away from her, get out of her effing face, just go the F away from her. And I said, you're on my phone. I was never in her face. I never even leaned down towards her seat. I was standing in the aisle because I was talking to the bus driver. So I got my phone from her and sat down. When we got off of the bus, I stated,
My Lord, this is a hard God.
They was talking to you like that?
Now go ahead and let her finish. I want to hear it. Go ahead.
when I got off of the bus, I said, it is back and acted wild also.
Is this
So then,
after we leaving the ship? After
after leaving the bus,
disembarking? Okay.
the bus.
Okay.
So I'm getting my luggage. My son went in the hotel to use the restroom. My daughter's standing there with the luggage. I get the rest of the luggage. I'm standing with my daughter with the luggage, waiting for my son to come out from the restroom to help take our luggage in because we were staying another night. When getting my luggage, I was approached by the woman who said she was Tracy's sister. Everybody's Tracy's sister, so I don't know if it was her biological sister or her sister. Said, are you talking
Thank God for the
SHIT
gift. Thank God. Thank God.
about Tracy? And I said, no. I said that if my kids weren't there, I would have cussed her back out and I would have acted
Miss
crazy.
Amanda, give me 30 seconds, Miss Amanda. I apologize. Misspeak my mind. I typically try to respect women. Once I realized your profile was a female, I let you alone. But if you keep talking, I promise you, I don't have a problem with it, okay? So I'm asking you nicely. Go ahead, Miss Amanda.
If there's a
I don't know
problem
who
with
that is.
how
I got a
you're
fake picture
expressing,
of
I
Keith
don't
on
have a
there.
problem. I don't have a problem with Kevin asking me questions or speaking
Good,
to me.
Amanda. Go
So
ahead,
if
Amanda.
anybody else,
Good.
okay. So this woman approached me, is in my face, is getting closer to me and my daughter, saying, I throw hands for my sister. I'll throw hands for her. You don't know what the F I'll do, who the F I am. And I said, then, go ahead. Well, do what you got to do. Then Tracy came, got in between, said it's not worth it. And she said, well, she's already approached you a couple times and you told her to get away from you and she didn't. And I said, hold on, what? No, that never happened. Tracy, what is she talking about? Well, you did try to talk to me twice and I told you it wasn't the time. And I said, you're a liar. That's a lie. That never happened. They walked away, got in a car, left. I have no reason to lie.
Wow. Wow.
I have never had a problem with Tracy.
My Lord.
My only
Never
thing
had an argument,
is,
disagreement, never ill will, no foul words.
I understand what you're saying, and I apologize, but none of this had anything to do with what we was discussing, though. It just took 3 different turns in one conversation.
That was the entire interactions dealing with Tracy from beginning to end of this trip.
What she's saying is she's saying she never told Tracy that about or asked Tracy what she FOE, but Tracy is saying she did.
I
don't know.
I don't.
I always thought we was getting to the confrontation that happened from the bus as well, but I was waiting for that, so I must have missed it.
So this is
I
his
think
question. Because there ain't no witnesses to confirm the conversation.
Never got an explanation of how it happened other than when we was getting off the bus, or what happened other than it was probably her sister, or what was said, or what caused it, or anything. So that's what I'm saying.
the throw hands comment was made. The trying to push her body into me and into my kid was because I said if my kids weren't on the bus, I would have cussed too. I can call my child back in here and y'all can question her if you don't believe me. She was standing there. She heard it. I have no reason to lie. I have never had a problem with anybody in FOE. And if anybody has had a problem with me in FOE, I'm not aware of it.
So let me ask this question. Everything you saying is accurate, allegedly. Why do you think out of all people, Tracy choose to fuck with you and to get all this going with you? What is the purpose behind attacking you specifically out of everybody and saying, I'm finna fuck with a man to have people jump on him? What was the underlying purpose of that out of everybody that was on the cruise?
I feel like personally, she thought I was an easy target. I went in Tracy's live and even said, I don't know what happened, but I never had any ill will towards you.
Can I say something? Can I say something right there? That's what starts a lot of our problems that we have. People want to, and not you, Amanda, but we throw that they want to be easy targets as if you ain't said shit. Because I've said shit. We've all said shit. Sometimes people remember what the hell was said, and they may not have liked it, depending on what you said and when you said it. So they remember that shit. Icon, did you not just get that probably from something a year ago that you came on somebody like a couple of weeks ago? You checked their ass for what they said a year ago?
Oh, yeah, Silent Angel messages.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what I'm saying, so people remember that shit. They hold on to it. So it ain't like it just came out of the blue. Some people remember
came out
the
of the
shit
blue.
that it's.
I never
You may
said
think
anything about Tracy. I never made a comment in
Miss Amanda,
anyone's
you're not
live
listening.
about Tracy.
Miss Amanda, but you're missing what I'm saying. I'm going to the point that you made about being an easy target. It wasn't that you was because you was an easy target. It may have been something that you said that you don't remember saying that she remembered because it pissed her off that much. And she remembered, and then when you said something, that was enough for her to just respond.
Well, I mean, if she were here, we could ask her.
Amanda,
You're right.
Amanda, why did you feel the need to go into her live and make that statement that you did?
Because I want to know why she did that to me. On the bus, lied, went person to person and said this, completely fabricated a story when I didn't spend any time with her. I asked her a question about how to get a hold of the groups. My daughter was standing behind me in the doorway of my room. Other than that, I didn't have any interactions with Tracy. I didn't see her. I didn't see her on the cruise. And it didn't matter that she was across from me. I never talked to her.
I'm referencing the time that you said you went into her live and you made the statement about
today. That was today.
You loved her and you didn't have anything
that wasn't
to do
in her
with...
live. That was in
Okay.
person at the hotel before the cruise.
Okay.
The day she came in. That was Thursday.
Lord. My Lord. My Lord. Girl.
Is you still on
One
it
more
up?
question. One more question, Amanda.
Let me
Do
see.
you think that maybe Tracy feels like you're antagonizing her?
No, I think that's absurd.
I'm kind of like Kevin.
I got a lot of questions.
I think that Tracy remembers because let me tell you why. Tracy snapped that shell the other night, and she was or did say something that rings a bell. She said she remembered, like, basically, people had an opinion on our situation. So, to me, Amanda, I think you even said something when you said that she accused you that you did say something when we were going through whatever. Tracy said that people thought that they were going to come on the cruise or whatever and speak to her and act like nothing ever happened. And I think that's probably what happened in this case. That you thought when you saw Tracy that because we made amends to a certain degree that it was okay for everybody else. Like, and a lot of people probably felt like that. But let's just move forward. But Tracy, on the other hand, has sat back and watched and listened, and she don't feel the same way. So I think that Tracy's energy is coming from what she sat back and listened and watched. Because even this morning in Tracy's live, and Tiffany and you, Amanda, we were witnesses. We talked 2 hours this morning. I even went in Tracy's live and like, Tracy, where are you going with this? Because I thought that we were going to try to move forward. But Tracy was going backwards this morning to me in her live because she was saying how people saw her and thought that shit was going to be okay. And I'm like, because me and Tracy never came to any type of anything. I just let it go. I said, Tracy, what are you doing? Like, I'm confused. Why are you going backwards? I thought we were going to move forward. So, but this morning, Tracy was in with her. I think, Amanda, that you fell into that category of it's not going to be. Um, I don't know who all came at her, but I tried to get it out of her this morning, and she did not say. But she said that, like, basically, shit, it is what it is. But so I listened to her this morning and listened to what she said. And I even told Tiffany, I said, and Tracy up here saying through all the lies and shit that happened, and she took a 30-day break. Tracy, you lied about some stuff, like, but this morning she went back to that like she hadn't done nothing. And so that's just what that is.
I literally just text that, not to cut you off. I literally just text that and said a lot of it is because it was a deflection of being able to or wanting to go ahead and have the conversation with you as well. So I'm not afraid to say that. I literally just text that. A lot of it was to deflect from not having to have the conversation with you.
Right. That's how I feel. Because today I was like, Tracy, what are you doing? Why are you going backwards? Like, nobody lied on you when it comes to my situation. I know the truth. I just decided to move forward. And so now with this case with Amanda, I think that Tracy saw people give their opinion. And it no matter what it is, don't talk to me. I think she just don't want people to talk to her, certain people. And so that's just what I feel, especially listening to her this morning. Amanda was in her comment section this morning as well. So yeah, Tracy don't want a lot of things. And that's just what.
I think that
So jurors, go ahead, jurors.
I think that everybody has to allow you to have your relationships with people and stop inserting themselves unless they have personally been affected by some of this stuff. Like Kevin told us earlier with the other person, because it makes it harder for those people to reconcile when they sit back and listen, even though everybody act like they don't be listening. They sit back and listen and watching and seeing people that once said, "Oh, I love you, I support you," sit up and drag them because they feel like you ain't fucking with them. And I will say honestly, when I came back into the picture, I saw a lot of people that when I left was showing Tracy love, that was showing her a lot of shade. And I'm like, well, damn, when I left, this was auntie. You was hugging up on her, kissing on her. Now you calling her bitches and throwing shade and stuff at the lady.
I never heard anybody call Tracy a bitch.
I've seen a lot. But
I
again,
didn't.
that's
But
coming
you've never
from
seen me do that.
that's coming from people
He's not lying, Nitra.
not necessarily trying to kiss your ass, but again, because they see that you on the outs, it's like, well, as long as I'm still cool with Nitra, anybody else is disposable. And my thing is, people need to sit back and watch them, because what if you and Nitra have a fallout in 2 months? You want everybody to switch up on you and start treating you like that, or you gonna want people showing you grace and saying, hold on, y'all, there's still somebody in the family, let's show them love and let them work it out. Because nobody knows what's coming down the line. Any of us could have a moment where we don't agree with something and it go the wrong way and when we expect it to go. But I do
Can
know.
we just clarify?
I'm so proud of
Can we
you,
just
nephew.
clarify that you didn't ever hear or see me do that to Tracy?
Judge
Yes,
Trendsetta, I have a
Yes.
question. I mean, one, we got to bop the screen. We're almost at a milli, y'all. Grab your daily heart me's and please keep the live go. Is it okay as the court reporter if I ask a question right quick? Because I want to get my notes correct. And it's to the Amanda. The Amanda, you stated that on the bus, on the way home from the cruise, that you were trying to assist, because I remember us being outside. And it was Callie outside telling us to stand on one side. You were on another side with your bags. And then you came to this side. You left your bags there. Tracy was busy, but Glam was still trying to get through security. And a lot of other things happened that night. Is it possible to say that Tracy could have been so overwhelmed with the buses that when you got involved on the phone and was passing her the phone with Glam, that she felt like you should not have been involved?
That is what I thought it was until I heard that she had been talking about me all during the cruise to other people, to multiple people.
I hear you saying is that during the cruise, she was talking about you to multiple people. Are those people willing to come up and come forward to collaborate and provide the evidence?
I'm one of them. She just told me. She didn't say she was talking about her. She just said that Amanda had approached her 3 times and about if she was FOE. She didn't say Amanda had said anything ugly. She just said she was tired of being asked that question by Amanda. She said she did say that she hadn't forgot about how people treated her during our situation, and that things weren't gonna be like that, that people thought that it was okay. So, yeah.
Thank you so much,
ask
Miss
Amanda-
Nitra.
Oh, I'm sorry. Amanda, can I ask
I
you
was
just
just trying to make sure Miss Nitra and not Judge Trendsetta was answering that. Thank you so much, Miss Nitra.
You're welcome.
Amanda, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Kevin.
You remember when we were in the casino, right when they was getting ready to do the slot pool, and I actually gave my wristband to T-Bass to do the pool because I didn't want to do the pool because there was all the women, and me and Twin Rail sat over there up against the at the tables basically. What was you and Tracy had a little small, I don't know if it was probably 5 to 10 seconds of a conversation when she was over there pulling, because she was pulling by herself. What was said at that moment? Do you recall?
Oh, it was when we switched from the bull slot machine over to the whatever the next one was. I just said we moved to this slot machine and walked away.
But she wasn't pulling with us. I mean, with y'all, because she was there
Yeah,
waiting.
she was.
Huh?
Yeah, she was involved in that. She was leaving her machine and coming over and pulling on her turn.
I know, but what I'm saying is she was down there for almost an hour because we didn't pull or y'all didn't pull on time like y'all were supposed to pull. Y'all pulled several minutes later because I left and went and got T-Baz, Journey, and somebody else. I don't know who it was, somebody else from the pool area, and they had to go change because they couldn't come in the casino with bathing suit attire on, so they had to go change. So that was
I
yeah,
never spoke
quite
to
a bit.
Tracy before that. I never spoke to Tracy before the first pull. I spoke with her after the pulls on the first slot machine.
Okay.
Never talked to her before that in that casino.
No, that's cool. I just know I remember seeing you over there, right there at her. I didn't stop because I was on a different side base. I was just walking through, but I just happened to look down and I saw Tracy sitting and you were standing up, so it's no problem.
Is it safe to say that maybe Tracy felt some type of way after they embraced each other, or the hug at the hotel, and the questions or the comments that you missed her, etc., and she may have felt some type of way because of everything that has happened?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a question for Tracy. I don't know what Tracy felt, why she felt it, what their animosity towards me instantly would be. I have no idea.
Did
Well,
she embrace
natural.
you back when you made the comments?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Natural.
and
I
she
would answer
thanked
that
me
question and say
again.
yes, she felt some kind of way. She felt very uncomfortable and at ease because she had been gone for so long and having to come straight back to still do what she had promised that she would do, and that was pick people up from the airports, which she did continuously all day long. So I could feel her feeling some kind of way still. I would.
I
I
understand
feel
that,
like
Kevin, and I understand that feeling too, Kevin. But this is where, so I came up to say that Tracy actually, like Nitra, Tracy actually told me the same thing on the ship, that she had a problem with Amanda because Amanda had asked her something about being a part of FOE. Tracy actually did say that to me while we were on the ship, the day that we were all at the pool together. So yes, Tracy did say that to me. I just said, "Oh wow," and I walked off. There was no more conversation about it. I didn't ask any questions. But to the point that you're making, right? Of course, we all know that Tracy probably felt some type of way. But here's where I get confused, right? You reach out and you embrace these people with hugs or whatnot, right? Like everything is cool and people do it the same way. But then come back to the internet when we all make it home and literally start making up lies. And I can say making up lies because she told a lie on me personally that I had talked bad about her and I never did, period. And to Nitra's point that maybe Tracy felt some type of way because when the stuff happened with Nitra and Tracy, people picked a side. I never even picked a side and publicly said anything or even behind the scenes about Tracy or where I stood in that situation. But yet Tracy felt the need to come on this platform and call me out like I was the problem. And that was a lie. So could it possibly be that this was another stunt like the first one? So I didn't say nothing the first time they had an issue.
My Lord.
Now I will. Could this just possibly be another stunt that Tracy pulls to get Nitra's attention and go on live and start crying and pretend like everybody in FOE is against her so that she can get Miss Nitra's attention, the special attention that she so desperately needs and wants?
Ooh, boy.
which could explain the pictures that she was putting up in her live this morning and crying, and these pictures are what got me through it.
Yeah.
I mean, because, Miss Nitra,
Be
Judge
genuine.
Trendsetter specifically said that Tracy told her 3 incidents that the Amandas allegedly, supposedly asked her if she was still FOE. But when she got up here in the panel, she said, no, it wasn't 3.
It was 1, then it was 2, then
She
it was 3,
said
then it was
3.
1.
When Tracy first started talking today, she did say 3. And she separated the 2 of the 3 times. She never got to the 3rd time. She said the first time was in the hallway outside of the room. The second time, Amanda was coming off of an elevator. She specified those 2 times. But when y'all started questioning her on it, she kept reverting back to the time in the hallway. Exactly. She never spoke back on the elevator instance.
Tracy be lying about some shit.
But other people be lying about some shit too.
I believe that too, Peach. I believe that too. But that's not going to justify somebody just telling blatant lies. Listen, this is the thing about lying, right? We've talked about this before when this whole situation came out the first time. It's one thing to tell a lie in defense of yourself. You're lying to get out of some shit. It's another thing to pull a lie out of the clear blue sky and create a lie for some good God knows reason. That's a different type of liar. That is called a compulsive liar. Those types of people are extremely dangerous. You see how dangerous it is that somebody threatened to bust the Amanda in her mouth over what could potentially have been a lie?
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
But you ain't
This shit
gotta
ain't
holler at
nothing
me,
to play
Chad.
with. I didn't hear you, Kevin.
I said, you ain't got to holler at me. Damn.
Auntie Phil did not deserve what she got, but I'm sorry, it's something more going on with Amanda, and I don't know what it is, but I don't believe that's all the way alive.
Ooh, this is tough.
The juror who wasn't
Call her and
Yolanda
ask
wants
her.
to come up.
ask him.
Yolanda, are you
They're
coming
alive
up
to
for a
her, Peach, and
witness?
see if she'll come up and answer.
You can drop
Bet
me
she
on
won't.
the
We have
sit down
Yolanda
here
at
and
the
tap
door.
for you because I know you hate me tapping in your box, so you can drop me on my head.
Okay.
You can't see it, can you?
Yep, I just saw it.
Okay, hey Nitra. I've been sitting down here listening. I'm gonna just put it like this. I think both of them liars. Because when Amanda first brought this to your attention, she said one thing. I even told y'all how I witnessed when Amanda went up to Tracy while she was sitting in the casino, how Tracy had a look on her face like, don't mess with me. So I feel like something was said because Tracy had an attitude then. I, in fact, had to tell her.
Come on, 1 Millie. Thank God for 1 Millie.
Hold on, Jolanda, because we can get Sweet Thing
you
up
hold
here
on.
because
I
she did the
listened to
same
you.
exact thing to Sweet Thing. She
No.
did the same thing to Sweet Thing.
Who did the same thing to Sweet Thing? No, I'm telling you, Amanda.
Tracy did the same.
Amanda.
Tracy did the same thing to
Amanda.
Sweet Thing in the casino.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. I even asked you. I said, Amanda, did you not see the look she gave you when you was in the casino trying to talk to her? Like she didn't want to be bothered. I said something had to happen.
Said?
You said
what
nothing.
Was said, ma'am?
You said nothing was never said. But today you said a lot
was said.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
In the casino, Jolanda? No, I did not. In the casino, Jolanda, what did I say?
Well, Amanda, I didn't ask you about the casino until after we was outside when we got back from the bus when I met y'all at the hotel. When we was outside and Nitra first, you brought it to Nitra's attention. When Nitra brought it to your attention. No, listen, when Nitra brought it to your attention, I said, Amanda, something had to happen because when you went up to her in the casino, she had an attitude.
That was on the way home.
I'm talking about on the way home when me and you had the conversation, Amanda. And you said you had no idea what it could have been because y'all had never had any rounds or said anything. But now you said y'all got into it after the bus.
After when we got home from the cruise. The casino wasn't after the cruise.
Amanda, I'm telling you that I know that. But Tracy had a problem with you then. And you said,
and I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And that's why when you said, did you see the way she looked at you?
Remember, Jolanda, let me say this. When we were getting ready to go home, we had made the departure.
I was there,
Nitra. On the buses. Amanda said that she had been approached and she was like in shock that she had been approached by, she said, Tracy's sister and friend. And that they told her what they would do with her. And so at that moment is when I told Amanda that Tracy said she had asked her if she was FOE. Like, because on the cruise, I really didn't see how, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I told Amanda at that time, but I didn't know it was as deep as people approaching Amanda. Like, Tracy, like when Tracy saw us, I think that Sunday night, maybe it was that Sunday. When was the last?
But what I'm saying is, Nitra, you remember when we was out